The All Seeing Guys podcast is part of Britpod Scene, an independent network of uniquely British podcasts that's always growing. Check out BritpodScene.com or follow Britpod Scene on Twitter to find out more.
Welcome to episode 142 of the All Seeing Guys with Greg and Joe. I'm Greg, and I'm joined by a fine gentleman, an established gentleman, a wonderful man. Oh, I'm talking about the wrong fucking person. Who are you?
Gentleman Joe Jackson.
Gentleman Joe Jackson. Gentleman Joe Jackson.
That's gentleman spelt with a J.
Oh, that's his first name.
Why
Gentleman.
not?
Gentleman.
Just made up a word.
I like that. How are you?
Yeah, man, it's all right. It's not too bad. It's Friday night.
It is Friday night.
We're feeling all right. Isn't that a song? No,
yes, I think
Saturday
so.
night's all right for fighting, isn't it? Yeah, no, I'm fine, Greg. I'm absolutely fine.
Excellent.
How about yourself?
Yes, I'm pretty good. Sitting down, a couple of beers, Friday night, as you say, do this.
The weekend is upon us.
Weekend is upon us. And then after this, I will settle down in the living room and watch the next episode of Mandalorian, which I've managed to avoid I've managed to avoid all spoilers on today, which is rare.
Are you enjoying it? Are you enjoying the show?
Oh, loving it. Oh, man, loving it. Series 2 is on fucking real. But
I like the Mandalorian because it's like it's like you've got another set of friends, and the Mandalorian is those friends. Did you have a nice time? Did you?
Yeah. Were you good with Mandalorian, Greg?
Yeah.
Oh, I was alright. Yeah.
Where did he take you?
I just watched it. But it's hard for me to avoid spoilers because
it's fucking everywhere. There's memes about 30 minutes after it shows.
But that's it. And also the fact that I'm trying to promote a Star Wars book. So
yeah, man, you're just fucking covered in Star Wars
in it.
references.
And it's like,
everywhere.
and because a lot of people wait for it to go. I think in America it goes on at like midnight. So over here it's like 7 a.m. or something.
Fuck.
So a lot of people wait or get up early or wait for it to come on, so they watch it first thing.
Yeah.
And then by the time I get to look at Instagram and stuff, people have already created scenes from the episode with figures and are
that's
posting the
fucking
images.
Nuts.
But amazing as well.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm like, how did they do this so quick?
Yeah.
I haven't even seen the episode yet. So you got to step quick to it, man. Like last week was a good episode. At the time of recording, last week was a good one for me because it showed one of the drawings behind me, the live-action version of Ahsoka from the Clone Wars animated series. A very good character, and I've been really excited for her to show up Mandalorian. And I did really well avoiding how she looked. Like I knew she was in it. I knew that just as being a geek, I knew from the person directing it and the name of the episode that it was going to have her in it.
And it's Rosario Dawson, isn't it?
Yeah, and we knew there's been strong rumours which have basically confirmed that she was playing her, but no one's seen a picture of her, just all like mock-ups. And I did really well not seeing her until literally about 20 minutes before I watched the episode. Someone messaged us on Twitter, and I opened it, and someone had just posted a screenshot of her, and I saw it straight away. I was just like, fuck! I've made it all through the day. And I literally was like going to watch it in the evening, and it was like 20 minutes before I sat down to watch it. Jenna was in bed, and fucking... At least I was close enough just to watch the episode 20 minutes afterwards, but still, I was annoyed that I made it all through the day avoiding spoilers, and it fucking got me right at the end.
It's like that classic Far Show fucking, the I'll get my coat guy from the Far Show.
Yeah.
And there's that one bit where it's like England playing Scotland, and it's just like, this is the untelevised game from earlier. We have purposely not shown any of the scores or anything, and there's like, and kick off, and a guy just comes running in and shouts the score.
Yeah. Well, it's hit me. I remember that. They're in like an old man pub, aren't they?
Yeah.
Fucking excellent.
He's like, and he just comes in. He's like, 3-2, back at it. I'm not even going to take my coat off. And just runs out.
Classic.
Yeah, man. It's mate, in this day and age, and especially with how popular it is, because even I see shit, and I mean, I don't get it, but like, I see like memes and stuff. I mean, when you showed the picture in the group we've got with the Open All Powers guys,
Yeah, Gaz and Sam.
And it's the just some fucking like key grip or something in the background, like.
That was great.
And but then that
so
even
good.
I like it, which is such like an obscure reference, like you would only know what that is if you'd seen the show.
Yeah.
And I only knew it from the group chat, and then I just started seeing shit everywhere.
Everywhere.
The toy, like the
Everywhere.
action figure of him, and it was literally just like half his body, like so ridiculous, man.
It was so good. So good. And people were outraged that it's been removed, that they've gone back and digitally removed it from the episode. Like, people were generally outraged.
Why
by
bother,
it.
man? It's like that sort of shit makes stuff like that sometimes.
Yeah, people were generally gutted by it.
Do you think people would still watch Three Men a Baby if they didn't think there was a ghost in the background?
I'm sure they would. I definitely watched it a few times before I found out about that.
No, fair enough.
I thought this episode, before we go diving into Geezedropping, moving on, I'll just go straight into the mouse update.
Yeah, no, let's do it.
Right, it's fresh in my mind. Let's get it done.
Let's get this. Let's complete this trilogy.
Let's hopefully this is the end of the trilogy. So last episode I left you with, we had the humane trap, and we hadn't caught the mouse of any other traps we tried, and we were still hearing and seeing it. So we had the humane trap. I remember I had it out last week when we were recording, which was 2 weeks ago today, and I kept looking at it, really distracted, but nothing. Anyway. Went to bed that night. Next morning, trap was empty. And I was like, fuck, I was so sure we're going to get it. And it wasn't until a few hours later when I realised that the bait was gone. Now, this trap is, let's just say, if I just hold up, I know none of you can see this as a podcast, but you can picture it.
As reference.
If I hold up a beer can,
it's great for
me. Turned it bloody horizontal, so it's lying flat, that's essentially the trap. And it just goes in.
Is it that thick?
One end.
Is it that big?
It's probably a bit bigger.
Oh, wow.
Goes in one way, and it's clear, like green plastic, and it walks along, and then at the back of it, there's the food.
Mm-hmm.
And right, the second half of it is like a ramp.
Yeah. It makes it like...
Yeah, it's the pressure point. And if you touch it, or even if, for me, if I walk past it too loudly, it goes off. Like, the ramp just pops down, and the door snaps shut. And it's trapped in there. It's pretty big. There's a little bit of space for it to move around.
Yeah.
So I was shocked to see that the bait had gone and the trap was still intact.
That's fucking incredible, mate. Mission Impossible it.
I couldn't fucking believe it. I don't understand how he's fucking done this. Yeah, it's like Matrix run up the wall in slow motion. Fucking and the
it's
bait,
like
man.
It's like a heist. It's like Ocean's 11 or some shit.
Yeah. And the actual bait was probably about 1.5 inches, maybe a couple of inches of like crust of bread, smothered in peanut butter with some seeds on it. Like fucking, and it was big, completely gone.
I love the seeds. I like that you clearly looked at that and thought, that's not going to do it.
Well, I was just reading.
It needed a garnish.
It came the trap came with like instructions, and it had like a list of like best baits to do.
Yeah.
Like, so believe it or not, cheese is not the best bait to use at all.
Man, fucking, we've been lied to in our entire lives.
Yeah, that's my fault. So
where did that come from?
So I tried, and obviously the bait worked because he came in and the vat was all gone.
Yeah.
I reckon he took it out with him somehow, because he would have been there for ages.
I want to see how you fucking. I wish you had like some sort of little camera set up so I could see how he did it.
I sent you a video of me catching him, didn't I?
You did.
Oh,
You sent
spoilers.
me.
There you go. So you can see the trap in that picture.
Yeah. But you sent me a picture of it inside it, and I cheered like England had scored.
Yeah.
And it was so weird because it was just in there. It didn't move. It wasn't like panicked or anything at all. It was just like.
I should probably stop. Actually,
still.
we should, because this is obviously spoilers for the mouse story.
Oh well, yeah, that's probably, yeah. Well, you can edit this bit.
So I won't. So the mouse trap was empty. The bait was gone. So to try and catch the fucker out, I sellotaped a 50p piece to the ramp for extra weight.
You're trying to bribe it.
And please leave my house. Here's 50p.
Here's 50p. Kindly fuck off.
To add some extra weight to it.
Yeah.
Pull it down. Sit in the living room that night. And I keep looking back. So this is now like the third night we've put the humane trap out.
Yeah.
And still unsuccessful.
Yeah, at this point, you're kind of wanting results, aren't you?
Yeah. And we're already, like, in terms of, like, when we first heard sounds, we're weeks into this. And I'm like, right, okay, it gets to like hard, we can hear it. Lizzie's like, I can't sit down here, I can hear it, I need to go to bed, I can't sit with it. And I was like, don't leave me. Like, she went upstairs, and I sat there for a bit, and I was like, no, I need to go to bed too, so I can hear it. I could just fucking hear it.
Ugh.
And there were points where it sounded so loud. This is like, it sounds like it's dragging something across our floor.
No way.
Like, and I was like, oh, mate, she's like, is it a rat? And I'm like, oh, Max, it sounded big.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I don't fucking know. Anyway.
It's like that New York rat dragging the slice of pizza.
Yeah. Because the only mouse we'd seen to us was pretty fat, to be fair, the one we saw. Not big, it was still small but fat. Anyway, I go to bed, get washed, get into bed, and I sit down. It's like it's 11:30 at night, lay into bed, phone off, right, go to sleep, shut my eyes, and I just hear the fucking trap go off downstairs.
Oof.
And I'm like, oh, that did not take long.
Yeah,
And I was
man.
like,
Waited
fuck.
for you guys to leave.
And I sat up and I was like, Lizzie, the trap's gone off. She's like, what? I was like, she's like, what are you going to do? I was like, well, I'm going to go down there. Like, I'm not going to like...
Why does it sound like you've been... like there's a burglar and you're like...
It was like that, yeah. And I was like, I'm not going to like, I've got to work in the morning and I've got to leave the house at 7:20. I don't have time to go walking off in woods with a mouse in a box. Like,
yeah, man.
I need to do this now. So, plus I can't relax knowing it's down there. So I came downstairs and I kind of stopped at the bottom of the stairs and I could hear it kind of moving around a bit in there. And I was like, it's definitely in there. And I kind of turned the light on in the hallway in the living room. And even though it was dark in the kitchen, I straight away could just see its shape in there.
Yeah,
and I was like, fucking got the fucker. Turn the light on, there it was. And I was like, yes.
Were you just like right up close to it, just going, you little cunt. Oh, gotcha.
I kind of kept my distance. I was a bit weary at first. And I like filmed the video that... I filmed the video that I've sent to you and Ed. Like, separately. I didn't send it to the group you're both in. I stupidly sent it to you and then to Ed. Weird.
Mate, no, you had a lot going on. It's all right. You weren't thinking straight.
And so I looked at it for a while and I was like, fuck, I've got to pick it up. I've got to pick this trap up. And well, what the fuck do I do now? I've got to take it somewhere.
Yeah.
How am I going to do that? And I was looking at it. It was sitting really nicely at the end, just nice and calm. And it actually looked quite cute. I was like, it's actually pretty cute. Its tail freaks me out, but it's actually pretty cute. So I got a carrier bag, and I had it like stood up next to it, all opened up, and I just slowly picked it up in the middle. I felt I could feel the weight of the mouse in there, and I just placed it into the carrier bag. And I was like, right, I'm gonna go release it at the gate of the woods, down the road. So I pick it up, I walk outside, get dressed, walk outside. And I'm walking and it's cold and it's pretty quiet. Anyway, it starts rocking a bit in the bag. I can hear it almost like moving around a bit. I'm like, I can't get this. Start walking towards the woods and I hear these really loud, rowdy voices. And I get closer and there's like a van parked with its headlights on outside the woods, just shining its headlights forward. And there's like 4 guys just stood in the glow of the headlights, just drinking beers and being loud. And I was like,
what the fuck?
What the fuck are they doing? What the fuck are they doing? Like,
the mouse has got friends in high places, mate.
And by this point, I think they'd already clocked me walking towards them. And I was like, shit. So I just crossed the road and went up another road. And I was like, right, I'll walk up here and I can go to the other park area and release it. And then I was like, where am I? And then I was like, fuck, this is a dead. And bear in mind, I'm obviously drunk and stuff. Like,
yeah.
And I'm just like, we're not obviously drunk, but I've had a couple of beers, I think. And then I'm just like, well, now I'm in a dead end. What road is this? I've gone the wrong way. I got all confused, walked back. The guys were still there, so I started walking back towards the house. I'm like, where am I going to release it? What the fuck am I doing? Then I just passed an alley. I was like, I'm just going to release it here. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Put the bag down, got the thing out, and then I tried to lift the lid up, and I realised I couldn't. There was a latch, so I had to like pull a latch back, then lift the lid up.
Oh, fucking hell, yeah.
Which was too close to comfort for me. I started doing it and it didn't run out and I was like, come on, and I'm trying to get it out and then this car drove around the corner and shone its headlights on me and I kind of panicked. It looked really dodgy that I was like kneeling down at the foot.
Were you just like...
Yeah, like I kind of quickly jumped up and started walking with it in my hand, like open, shaking.
Oh, mate, you look well dodgy. You should have stayed.
It's definitely slowed down as well. Then I leaned over and kind of and then opened it again and it jumped out and it ran off up the alley and I was like, oh, it's fucking gone. Got home, it's done.
Yeah.
I'm convinced I've done it. I've actually caught the mouse. After all this time, I've caught the fucking mouse.
Achievement unlocked.
I was like, I better reset the trap though, just to be safe.
Sure.
Reset the trap, and then I sit up for a bit more that night because I know the mouse is gone. Fucking, I'm gonna sit up for a bit longer. Mouse is
Your
gone.
adrenaline was running.
I can relax. I can celebrate. It's done. Don't hear anything. Walk around as normal. Go to bed pretty comfortable. Get up next morning. Get ready for work. Come downstairs. Fucking mouse in the trap.
You're kidding.
I was just like, Lizzie, there's another mouse in the trap. And she's like, what? No. And I'm like, there's another one. And I was like, unless it's the same one. Because in like previous episode, I discussed how I'd heard if you release it within like a 3-mile radius, it just comes straight back.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if it's the same mouse? It could be the same. I was like, could be the same one.
Did it look the same?
It was hard to tell. Looking back now, with what I now know, I don't think it was the same mouse. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the same mouse. I think it was a bit smaller and a bit lighter in colour.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I can't believe there's another one. I was like, I don't have time to take it to the woods. I need to go to work now. So I just walked it out the back alley, but not like right behind my house. I walked up and then up through another alley towards like the main road, and I basically just released it in this little extra alley bit that kind of leads to like, I don't know, sheds and stuff. I kind of let it out. This one, mate, this one. As soon as I pulled the thing back, it leaped out. In a way, I didn't know mice could jump. Fairly sure they're like field mice. Like, their back legs are really springy. And it just leaped out far. It like really parkour. Freaked me out. I was like, I didn't know they could jump like that. This changes everything. I did not know they could jump like that. Fuck, well, if one jumps at me, like, that's straight away, that's it. Now I'm like, fuck, I was getting a bit more confident now. This has changed everything. Anyway, it scarpers off. I quickly dump it, reset the trap, go to work. So we've caught 2. Come back, reset the trap, go to bed. Let me check. I make sure I'm not confusing myself. I have got a little bullet point list. You got
a diary. You got a mouse diary.
So that's 2. That's 2 we've caught.
Yep.
Yep.
Potentially
okay.
2, yep.
That's 2 caught so far. So that's 2. Next morning, no mouse. I'm like, fuck, we've got it. That definitely was that must have been the same one that came back, and I've just got rid of it. There's no more mouse. Excellent. Clear. Then about 5 o'clock, early, like 5 o'clock in the evening, Lizzie's just like, the mouse! And it ran out the kitchen and into the cupboard under the stairs.
Oh, you're fucking kidding,
and we were
man.
just like, oh my God, I thought we were clear. Now it's appearing at like 5 in the evening. Not even at night, we were asleep or on the sofa. Like, it's coming out. Nanny Jana was around. Like,
it's gone all Cape Fear on you, and it's just like back for revenge.
And now it's left the kitchen. We saw it run under the fucking stairs. Oh my God, this changes everything.
Like, it's got new tactics.
So we put the trap out again that night. And then lo and behold, later on that evening, I hear it, trap, back downstairs. This one's fucking little, but it's fucking throwing itself against the edges. This one's fucking rowdy. It's throwing itself against the door. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm like picking it up and it's just go fucking ape in there.
Fucking terrifying.
Like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Put it in the bag. Walking out, I can hear it in the bag, just throwing itself around. It's so loud, the bag's like swinging. And I had this weird thought. I was like, fuck, would the police just stop me? Excuse me.
Yeah, what's in the bag?
Excuse me, sir, lockdown. What are you doing wandering around at midnight on your own? What's happening here? Where are you going with that bag? What's in that bag, sir? I'd have to be like, it's a mouse and a humane trap. I'm about to release it. I reckon they'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or they'd be like, show us the mouse.
Yeah.
And like, open it in their face and run off. Ha ha!
That's not even necessary. You were scot-free. You were scot. They were like, oh, that's a perfectly acceptable explanation. Can I see the mouse possibly? Yeah, sure. Ha!
Police were completely unjustly attacked by a man who threw a field mouse. Field mouse enthusiast Greg Armstrong was caught apprehended 10 minutes away from the scene in his home.
For MBH.
So yeah, that all went nuts. I let him go by the front of the woods. And then the next morning, when I was on my day off, came downstairs, a 4th mouse is in the fucking trap.
This is no longer a trilogy.
Yeah, so this one I actually walked on. I actually took him pretty deep into the woods this time. I actually went into the woods a bit further in and released him a lot deeper in the woods.
Yeah.
So we caught 4 mice in 3 days.
I'm telling you, man, you should have just chucked the whole trap and the mouse in it.
But I needed it to get the next ones. So we caught 4 mice in 3 days.
That's fucking wild.
And that was probably about, I don't know, over a week ago. And since then, we've had nothing.
Nah.
No
they
noise.
realise that you're a threat and you shouldn't be bothered.
Yeah. No noise. No little shits anywhere. No mice sightings. The trap is empty. We've still got the trap out. It's out now. It's been out the whole time.
Yeah.
And I keep refreshing the bait. Nothing. Like, nothing at all. So potentially, it looks like we're okay. It might have just been like a little family of 4 that I've just kicked out and separated like a bastard I am.
You've just created like Fifle Goes fucking West or whatever.
Yeah. I did have an idea actually for like a Pixar sort of like film
Mouse movie
that inspired this for me.
Okay.
So let me give you the pitch. This is definitely like a Finding Nemo kids fucking Pixar film. Yeah?
Greg, you know I love it when we create movie ideas.
There's no like nasty undertone to this. This is legitimate based on my experience with catching and releasing mice. So, film opens with a mouse and his buddy who probably live in someone's house and have done quite happily, and they're best buds. And then he sees his best bud walk into a trap that fucking snaps and kills him, snaps his neck, does him, and he's like horrified to see his friend die by a trap.
You said there was no nasty undertones to this.
It's a Disney film, it's a Disney Pixar film. They always start.
It's got to start dark, yeah.
Yeah. So he fucking gets out of there. Anyway, fast forward later on, he's now probably staying in someone else's house with another bunch of mice. And he's kind of like, the wise old mouse with the past, just kind of like, I've seen some shit, man.
Splinter.
He's like the one with all the scratches on him with Finding Nemo in the dentist aquarium.
Yeah,
with
man.
the little fin.
Isn't that like Willem Dafoe that does that?
I think it is, yeah. May William Dafoe be a good voice for this mouse. And then a humane the trap appears, like the killer traps. They start putting them out, and he's like, whoa, don't go near them. Do not go near them. They probably do lose a couple of mice who don't listen, just to sweeten up the story a bit.
Yeah.
But overall, people are like, oh, you were right about that trap. Holy shit, you were right. Okay, we believe you. Then they put out a humane trap. And he's like, oh, I haven't seen this, but it's a trap, so don't go near it. And everyone else is just like, oh no, I've these are like gateways to heaven. When you go in there, you don't come back out.
They're all a gateway to heaven.
But like you're gone. There's no body. You just disappear. And he's like, no, you can't do it. And then one by one, people start kind of going in there, and no one knows what happens to them. They obviously don't see the next morning because they're gone back into hiding when the human comes down, takes the mouse out, and releases them. So they're just seeing it as like almost like this amazing porthole. And the other guy's like, no, you can't. Anyway, for whatever reason, at the end, he has to heroically run into this thing. He's on his own, everyone's gone and left him, and he's like, you know what, I'd rather just take the chance than die alone here.
Wow.
So he goes into the humane trap, and then we see what actually happens. We see the human come down and get him in the morning, put him in the bag, walk him out, and he's like, oh my God, what's happening? And then the light shines and the trap opens, and he runs out into a beautiful woods. And he sees all his other mouse friends there, who were like, you finally did it. We told you it was the gateway to paradise. We've been here for like days. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And he lives there happily ever after the rest of his life, after getting over his fear and just embracing his own faith and self-belief, and steps into this trap, this porthole to another world, and it works and it pays off, and he's reborn with his new second family.
It's good. Or it's like a short story or something.
Yeah, and it could have like an Inception ending of, are they actually dead? Is this actually heaven? But no, they're not. They're alive. That's a little random.
I like that. That's good.
Yeah. That's life, yes.
Do all mice go to heaven?
Isn't there a dogs go to heaven?
Yeah.
All good goes to heaven. So yeah, that's the mouse finale, everyone. That's 4 mice in 3 days, and it has been quiet for well over, probably a week, 10 days now.
Oh, I'm glad the ordeal's over for you.
I hope so. I'm not going to stop putting the trap out just yet, because it was last Christmas when we had first encounter of the mouse here.
Yeah.
So we are going to keep it out for now, just in case.
It's strange how it's only really sort of come around now, isn't it? It's
weird that it was 4 the fuckers. Jesus. That's why it was making so much noise, because we were obviously hearing more than one, thinking there was only one.
Wow.
There you go. Yes, there you go. A few twists along the way.
Should we drop some geese?
I'm about to say, should we go into Geezedropping? Or we hear snippets of things overheard by you or us, and we talk about it on the podcast. Oh, what is it, Geezedropping? Geezedropping, having a listen.
Well, I've got a treat this week.
Excellent.
I've been sent a voice recording from a friend of the pod, Ashley.
Oh yes, of course, yeah.
He sent it on to me. Let's do the voice recording first, shall we?
Yes, okay.
This is good. He heard this today.
I think I've got an audio from him as well.
Ashley's geese drop for Aunt Jo, because Greg is a thief of geese drops. Just watch two lads walking down the road. One of them farts, immediately turns to the other and goes, that's proper warmed up my bum.
I think I've actually said that before as well. Along those lines, I know what he means.
I mean, yeah, no, we've all done a warm one, haven't we?
Oh,
God, I
that's
loved
good
it.
though.
It
I
was-
love that. That's good.
I just like that it was probably just like,
It reminds me of a story I've definitely told on this podcast before, probably more than once, but I'm telling it again. It's always someone's first episode. When I worked
it's like a quarterly sort of thing.
When I worked in the Bental Centre, and there was a girl that worked in Tyrac nearby.
Oh yeah,
and
you
every
have.
morning I'd see them setting up. And I walked past one morning and she was just bending down to lift the grill, like squatting to lift the grill. And as she lifted it up, she let rip a massive, massive fart. And I can't remember if I said anything. I think I did say something, or I just laughed. I might have laughed. I made audible noise that she alerted her to my presence.
Did you say possibly one of my favourite Greg sayings for farts? Or you could cook your dinner on that one.
Wasn't it? It's like something to do with gravy as well. I said before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
that
it's
was.
like all that
I
cuts through air.
can't remember what I said to her. Fuck. But yeah, it was obviously very embarrassing. She obviously looked very startled and was like,
Oh
"Fuck,
my
I can't
god,
believe
mate!
that just
You know
happened."
what? I think I'd gone back through like random episodes and you told that story in one of them and I'd heard it and it just made me piss myself with laughing all over
I've already
again.
told it better because I've forgotten half the details. But the main point of the story is she lifted up a grill and let one rip, and I was there to see
Rah.
and listen. And that she didn't like
When I
that.
say-
and it was,
when
and
I
every
say
time
she
saw her
farted.
after that, it was really awkward.
Have you ever heard anything echo in the Bental Centre? Because I have, and it was a fart.
It echoed so much it came back to me right into my other ear, even louder than the original ear that heard it.
Oh man, your Bental Centre stories are fucking amazing. Do you know, like what was it? The time the motorcycle guys fucking
Oh,
went
man,
through it.
Yeah, when they robbed the fucking jewellers. Yeah, man, that was crazy.
How
That's
fucking ballsy
insane.
have you got to be to
Insane.
rob a fucking jewellery store inside a shopping centre?
Yeah, and they all panicked and drove around the whole centre. That was because a guy fell off outside my shop and fell into
I
the
remember
grill.
when you told me that bit, and I just started immediately started imagining like wacky races.
Yeah, he ran off, left the bike. He ran off because the police were already there.
Yeah, man.
Insane. Yeah, that was intense. I think I have a geese drop from Ashley. I think it's a geese drop.
Go on.
I have an audio message, and my reply seems to indicate perhaps it was a geese drop. Oh, fuck. What's that?
Morning, mate.
Oh.
It's not really a geese drop at all. It's more
Oh.
of a sort of like life observation, but it made me giggle anyway. So I went over to a friend's last night because they've recently got over an operation and shit. So bollocks to the social distancing and all that malarkey. Doing a good, mate. Anyway, got home at like 10:30 last night, but like all the lights were off. And as I walk into the kitchen, not into the kitchen, into the living room, my niece is sitting there, just like eating a tub of Philadelphia. Nothing else, just the Philadelphia. I popped my head around the corner, she just looked up at me and she's like, "Don't judge me." I'm like, alright, cool, go to bed. Life observations, mate. Made me giggle anyway. Good morning.
All right, it wasn't a geese drop, but I liked it a lot.
Oh.
That was awesome.
Well, she didn't want to. I'm sure she didn't want that story being told to anyone, and now it's just been on a podcast.
I'm not really into Philadelphia, I must say.
You know
Everybody
what?
gets
I don't mind it, just not mouthfuls of it.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, I have one more geese drop, which I will tell you straight away, and it won't sound too interesting. The geese drop I heard simply was, fuck!
No, I'm sold. Go.
Well, I heard it, and I was in the garden, and hearing it was amazing because it followed the sound of something smashing very loudly. I just heard a crash and like something smashed like a few houses down, like blows of plates just smashed at once. And you
Yeah.
And it was a perfect pause afterwards, just like, fuck. It was so good.
I like that.
So fucking good. It was so good.
I was on the train home from one of the nights from work, and was it? When was it? Yeah, no, yeah, it was when I was in Kingston. There was this kid on the train who I guess like 15, 16 years old, something like that.
Yeah.
And the trains aren't really full up still. They're not like, there's no one still really like going to work or coming home from work at like the rush hour times. It's not crazy busy. But like I got into a part of the carriage and I was like, it was two of those 4-seater ones.
Right.
And then 2 of those 2-seater ones. And I sat on one of the 2-seaters, and then there was 2 guys sat on each of the 4-seat sections.
I'm with you.
And then this kid in the other 2-seater. So like he's like the furthest from us all, but we can all hear him on his fucking phone talking to his mates, right?
Of course.
And just some, like, I can't believe how brazen he was talking about these things. These are some of the highlights of what I heard.
I love loud phone conversation geese drops. I love it.
He did not give a single fuck. I don't know who he was trying to impress, but it wasn't the 3 white gentlemen trying to go home. So this was this is the 3 things that I wrote down that really made me like just chuckle to myself. He goes, you know that light-skinned brother? He was feeling himself, but don't worry, I'll deal with him differently.
What does that mean?
That sounds like that is the gayest threat I have ever heard.
So somebody was wanking or touching
I guess so.
and he was like, "I'm going to deal with him differently."
Yeah. I don't know if like feeling himself is like an ego thing. I don't know.
I'm going to touch him.
Yeah. There, he followed that up shortly with, I don't understand these Chelsea Utes, man. They send in mans to sort out their beefs. This kid as well, he got off in Teddington.
Of course he did.
And then finally, to wrap it all up, when I say he pulled out a fuck off machete, he pulled out a fuck off machete.
Maybe he was talking about when you watched Crocodile Dundee the other night.
Maybe it was. Maybe it was. Yeah, so that kid amused me. I haven't seen him since. It's a shame.
Oh, it is a shame. But that's not actually. Because you don't want to keep seeing it because you might start nodding at you.
No, I just want to see how fucking rowdy his weekends are. I mean, this was all during lockdown. I don't understand how it happened.
Of course. Yeah. Well, you know, he's obviously a busy man with lots of important things to be doing and lots of beefs to be sorting out.
I made sure that I wrote down the slang he was using as well.
Of course, excellent. Yeah, I love loud bus ones, man. They're so good. Especially when there's loads of it coming out when seeing someone's phone conversation.
Yeah,
you can just like you did, just make a list of all the things you're hearing.
Yeah,
so
completely. You just like do it. You're just like, no, just go, just keep going, please keep talking.
Ooh. So. Previously, I've had loads of I've got a whole list of stories and stuff here. I'm not going to go through all of them, but they're ones that I've just had for episodes and kind of been pushed back as conversations gone other directions.
Yeah.
I kind of feel maybe we should just start by mentioning this whole fucking strange metal Monolith. Is that how you say it?
Yeah, man. I've been. You know what? It's the sort of thing that I'll just scroll through on Instagram and I'm just like, oh, that's interesting, and then do no further research into it.
It's confusing.
So here's what I know so far based on pictures.
Because before you say what you know, I don't really... Because the issue I have with discussing this, Jesus Christ, Greg, is that I grabbed this ages ago when it first came out. I've had this on my phone for ages, like this article.
Yeah.
Then it disappeared, so I had that article. And then 4 men were seen taking it away, so I had that article. Mm-hmm. Then I just saw another story before we started recording about something else happening with it. And I was like, I can't fucking keep up with this fucking story.
So I did.
Let's just talk about what we know.
I did a little bit of looking into it because there has been a 3rd incident, and I looked into that. But so it started. I mean, first of all, what the fuck is a monolith?
Big, tall, metal, 3-sided object.
Wow,
flat top.
Good stuff.
I wasn't reading that. I was just saying it. That's what it is.
So it first turned up in a very recluse area of a Utah desert.
Red Rock County, Utah. Yeah,
that's the one. Yeah, it was found by a nature photographer.
Mm-hmm.
And it was literally just a big 7 feet, 8 feet tall,
between 10 and 12 feet high.
Okay, and it was just there, and it's quite weird, really. But yeah, so like it was there for a bit, and then obviously enough time for like news people to turn up and like loads of people sort of go down there and check
they
it out.
also
But this thing
looked
was
it
like
up on
literally
Google
like
Maps,
7
didn't they?
hours into the desert. Like,
yeah. But people looked it up on Google Maps once the story broke. And
That's
they
right,
saw
yeah.
that actually it was there in 2016. Was it? It was still there.
But also, it's considered like, I guess the desert is kind of like a national park or something. It's like it's absolutely fine
not
to go
allowed.
there. You can't stop people from going there.
Yeah,
like,
but you're not allowed to put up monoliths.
No, of
Monoliths.
course. So this was happening, and then oh no, that was it. Yeah, the gentleman, this nature photographer. Sorry, he wasn't the one that found it, but he found out about it, and he went to take photos of it. And when he was there, 4 men turned up, and his words were, "They pushed it once, and it buckled." And he turned to me and said, "I hope you got your photos," and literally just pushed it over.
Yeah.
And they took it away.
They broke it into bits apparently. And left
They
with
broke it down, yeah, and all that was left in the ground, I think, was just the metal plate that it was on, I guess.
Yeah. They pushed it. Within 8 minutes, the 4 men had pushed over the monument with a loud bang, broke it apart, and carried it away in pieces in a wheelbarrow.
No, that's it.
And one of them looked back at us all and said, "Leave no trace."
Yeah, and that's true. That's apparently like a thing. Like that's like, I think that's like a rule to go by. But so after that, it was kind of like, oh, that was a weird thing that happened. And then the same thing turned up in Romania.
Yep.
Now the Romanian one I didn't look into that much, so I guess you can go from here, Greg.
Yeah. So it was the one in Utah. Then it disappeared and no one knew what happened. Then this guy came forward saying he'd seen the 4 men take it away.
Yep.
Then it appeared in... apparently it's very similar to comparisons to iconic sci-fi movie 2001, The Space Odyssey.
Because I thought that was more of like a rectangular thing. I know,
Yeah.
I know it's a similar sort of thing, but yeah.
But yeah, so it appeared in Utah, and then, like you say, let me see where the other arrival of it was. It then appeared in Romania.
Yeah. And there wasn't really a lot of information
No.
about it, just that it had turned up. And then obviously, again, within, I think, like 2 days, it had then again disappeared. And again, like after that, it was just like, oh, okay, well that's that done then. That was kind of weird. And then it turned up in a very like far out like place in California.
That's right, in California
Coro.
Mountain, yeah. And I've just looking now, and yesterday they confirmed that it was apparently, they reckon, the same as the one in, not maybe the same, but the exact same sort of shape and height as the ones that were seen in the other 2 locations.
But the California one is a bit different.
Yeah.
So again, it disappeared, but that's because a bunch of people turned up and pulled it over and replaced it with a wooden cross. Shouting God in, like, basically just shouting a lot of God shit.
Yeah, because they probably think it is God.
Oh mate, it's so fucking weird. It's so weird, like, because it's like, why I just don't understand. Is it like an art thing? Like, I don't really know. This clearly isn't like a force of nature.
Yeah, it's also close together as well. Like, it's so, like, the one saying second metal monolith in Romania has disappeared was 3 days ago at the time of recording.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, really, like, it's all very recent. Like,
Yeah. And they seem to be, I feel like there's a very similar sort of time span between them disappearing and then reappearing.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. But bearing in mind, that's only since it's been found. So since the other one that first appeared in Utah had been sat there, what we assume, for quite a while before it was found.
Yeah.
Now it's been found. It's like the game's been activated.
Yeah. Jumanji is like,
the game's been activated. I imagine it's like in Alien versus Predator. The humans go into the underground temple, and as they go in, one steps on a stone.
Oh yeah,
and it
man.
lowers, and then it cuts to the Predator spaceship, and obviously the hologram map starts.
Yeah,
going,
beep,
that's
right.
Beep, 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 and then he's like, "Someone's in there." I know. Then he grabs his spear, and they all run down there.
Mate,
Like,
you
that's
know
what?
what? Like,
kind of happened.
People shit on that film, and by people I mean me. But that's an alright film. For the first half, that first half of that film is fucking great.
I rewatched it recently,
and then she gets fucking like auditions to become a predator, and they're just let's just burn her face. Fuck off.
Yeah, no, I actually rewatched it recently. It has some good action beats in it. It's still not an incredible film. I do like, actually, No, no. It's all right. The sequel made it look better.
Yeah.
The sequel to that film
I remember,
made the original look better.
I remember watching like the
That
making
sequel's
of, and
terrible.
there was a whole thing in the making of that movie about just like, oh well, like Aliens, like Sigourney Weaver was this like iconic role, and we wanted to like reprise a strong female character, and I was just like, I did not get that at all from this fucking movie.
No. I didn't either.
But the
but
thing,
yeah,
sorry, but back to the Monolith.
so that's
The
what I
thing-
imagine's happened. It's been discovered. So now it's like the game is afoot.
But it's to me it's really random. So like okay, first of all it turned up in Utah. Okay, fine. Then Romania, and you're like, oh shit, different country. How the fuck did that happen?
Yeah.
And then it's back in America, and it's just I don't know. It's really it feels. Oh, I don't know. I want to see. We should really go on Reddit and see what they think.
Yeah, it's interesting though. It is.
It is. It's like it's a phenomenon.
And if it is someone just having a laugh, then they're fucking very good at it.
Yeah, how the fuck are you going to get like that from like if it's because I mean
Yeah.
in my head it's the same thing being taken
Yeah,
from
yeah,
Utah
yeah.
to you. Like how do you get
Even
to
though
that
they're
to
probably
Romania in
someone
3
already
days?
has one. It's probably just getting smashed up and taken away by the guys, and then they message their mate wherever they are. Like, right, get your fucking
What,
monolith up.
their mate in Romania.
And they're just like, get your monolith up. The time has come.
So this is the thing that I've thought about.
You've
is
been
that,
activated.
is like I the things that I've been thinking about is like why is this happening? What is this purpose? My go-to conclusion is that it's an advertisement for something. I just feel like this is
Monoliths. Buy your monoliths right now.
wacky weaving and
Available at
flailing
all
arm
garden
flailing
centres.
monolith.
These aren't available in store. Please call now to get your monolith.
I don't know what I feel like the monolith is a representation of something.
Right.
And it's just like I don't know. Maybe they're finally releasing Cyberpunk. I don't know. Like this is what it's been doing. This is it. They spent 10 years just creating like 1,000 monoliths that they're just going to put up in different locations for no reason.
It's all gonna be for like the Snyder cut of Justice League.
But like, yeah, it's so that's my first like thought, and then I started thinking about well, if they've done that, they've then gone around around the world calling up like fucking metal workers and be like, hi, could you create a monolith for me in Romania,
I need a
please?
monolith.
Like, I need it delivered to this very obscure location on this specific date.
Or it's just some weird cult all over the world. Like,
Could be.
maybe they're actually doing a sequence. Maybe this is them like dialing a phone to call the aliens in.
Or
That's,
maybe
hello, free monolith. That's me.
maybe it's the lift that guy, that the big corporate guy in Gremlins 2 has that rises out of the ground and it just hasn't gone down yet.
I watched Gremlins 2 recently. Yeah,
How could you?
I watched it of Indiana.
Nice. What did you
Gremlins
think?
2.
Did she enjoy it?
I mean, she laughed at some of it. I don't know if she was hugely interested throughout the whole film, but she was like, at first when it was Gizmo and stuff.
Did she watch? Did you let her see the bit where the gremlin gets put in the paper cutter?
She was in the room. She was in the room, but I don't think she was really watching it.
I remember specifically.
point.
I remember being at my nan and granddad's and this is my mum's mum and dad. They used to live in Clacton, and like my parents would like if my parents were going away, we'd go and stay at my nan and granddad's and stuff.
Yep.
And they had Clacton on Sea, really kind of sort of like seaside town, so it's all kind of sort of everything's a bit old. And there was this is going back. I mean, there was a video shop that we specifically went to, and me and my sister were allowed to rent like a video each.
Nice.
And I think one time, we'd both wanted to get like Gremlins 2, and we were sort of watching it and how funny it was and everything, and then like the fucking shredder scene comes up, and my nan would just turn that shit right off. Like what the fuck? Like she's like this old Irish lady. She's just saying fucking just absolutely appalled by it.
You've told me more stories about things she didn't like you watching. That's hilarious.
Yeah, man. It was that an interview with the vampire. That was the other one.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
fair enough. No, that scene came on, and I was just like, she wasn't really paying attention, so I left it. But as a kid, it wasn't really that freaked me out. It was the scene before when he gets rid of the secretary by putting the mousetrap in her roll.
Oh yeah, that is
and
weird.
then you don't see it, but you hear it.
Yeah.
And then he hears it in the other room. Mr. Clamp hears it, and he's like, blah, 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 Janine, whatever her name is. And then he walks out, and the gremlin sat there in her cardigan and glasses, being like, nah, nah, nah.
he's doing the ABC, isn't he?
Yeah, and it's just like, oh my God.
More
Like,
coffee.
that is it. I think it was not seeing it that freaked me out more as a kid. I kept thinking about it. Oh man, I know we talked about Mouse already, but
it's
scene,
like
that film
it's the
did
noise she
resonate
makes. It
with me.
starts as a scream, and then obviously it just fully clamps, and she
off.
just goes like,
and then she's gone. I don't
a
know,
woman
I've got
died.
Oh yeah, so
a woman
Monolith,
died that night.
I have no answer for the Monolith. We'll keep an eye on that and see what happens, and maybe we see it is promoting something. If it is some sort of campaign, I can only imagine it's for a film or a TV series. Mm-hmm. I can't imagine it's for like Bounty,
maybe
or
it's
Tissue
like,
Wipe or something.
Maybe they're doing like aren't they doing like a Christmas special of Black Books or something?
Well, that's
Not
what they're
Black
doing
Books.
this for. It's
Black
for
Mirror.
Black Books. Black Books. For the Christmas special of Black Books, we've been sticking monoliths all around the world and making them disappear.
It'd be weird.
People will get that sus, won't they? They'll
Yeah.
understand what that means. It obviously
totally
means
understand it.
Christmas special of Black Books.
They'll totally understand that is an obscure English comedy.
Well, another story I wanted to bring up with you, one that I'm sure you've seen and will definitely make you very angry.
Mm-hmm.
If you're the type of person who follows influencers on social media, you'll be aware of the trend that is travelling abroad to achieve the perfect smile.
Oh my god, I saw this, dude.
Cosmetic teeth procedures are much cheaper in countries like Turkey than here in the UK, and many companies even offer free treatments for influencers who have large followings on sites like TikTok in exchange for promo.
Fucking
Many
knobheads.
smaller influencers have even taken to showing off their shaved down shark teeth before they're fitted with what they claim to be veneers. Of course, it must be tempting to achieve the perfect smile for very little cost, or even for free, but it could come crashing down when they require dentures by the age of 40, dentists say. So they're shaving their teeth down to like shark teeth, little sharp triangles.
Greg, how do you think they would do that?
They're going to these dentists in Turkey and getting it for free or really cheap.
What the fuck, dude?
That's what they're just
Like,
saying.
what the fuck? I love as well, like, every article I saw about that, they used Jordan as a fucking example.
Oh, of course. Oh, yeah, there it is. She is.
She has got, mate, she is... I can't believe she's still in one piece. I really can't. She reminds me of a raggy doll.
Dr. Emil Mawson, a Cornwall-based dentist, has taken to TikTok
Cornwall?
to warn others against the invasive treatments carried out overseas, which would leave people with pegs for teeth. These are not veneer preparations, she said, of shark teeth shown off by likes of Katie Price. These are crown preparations, and there's a big difference. Now, a number of dentists fear that young people not knowing the difference between crowns and veneers could cause catastrophic consequences for their teeth later in life. There's so many pictures. They look so horrible.
Yeah, they look really
Like,
fucking awful.
I don't understand.
But this is... I'll wait.
In fact, the process of shaving teeth down is actually a dangerous one.
Yeah.
As it risks compromising the tooth nerve, which is ordinarily protected by the enamel. I have to say it so perfectly in my head. Enamel. There you go. Enamel, yeah. Dr. Mackey explained, this is only done if there were cavities to take out or the teeth were already broken. Once your teeth are shaved down, it can't be undone and will likely need to be redone every 10 years, resulting in a lifetime of expensive treatments. Mm-hmm. Dan!
These fucking
strange
people...
times.
These fucking people are so fucking stupid.
They are.
That app is a bad thing. But you know what even worse is, like, so you know when Vine was around, which, like, Vine was fun. I saw Vine, that was like, it wasn't like TikTok. I mean, yeah, there was bits of it. They were a bit like, oh, a sexy section. But like a geezer I work with, he's got it, and he was showing me it the other day, and I've just never seen so much bollocks in all my fucking life.
It is.
Like, I've watched like a compilation, and it was all just like funny stuff, and that's what I thought it was. I thought it was just like people making like funny videos that are like really short. I was like, oh, that's really good. And then he actually showed me what it is, and it's just fucking girls dancing and miming.
I passed a bunch of school kids doing it at the bus stop near my house the other day. There was like 6 of them, and they all just burst into these synchronized dancing with their phones. But then one guy was like, oh, don't film me, one of the kids, and they all started chasing each other. But I walked past, I was like, oh, they must be TikToking.
I want to kick cocking them.
Hey!
I just want to kick someone in the
That
cock.
could be the episode title.
Tick-cocking,
tick-tocking.
Oh, it's so stupid. And these people are going to somehow, like, these people on TikTok now are going to end up being like a fucking Logan Paul or any one of them little cunts, or like KSI. They're all fucking unbearable, horrible fucking things, and we're all gonna have to deal with them for 10 years.
I mean, that is true. That is true.
God, you know what? I just hope. Now I just hope I don't make it to 50.
How is it the perfect smile, though? I don't understand how it's the perfect smile.
Because
they all link to lock.
I think what they're saying is that they have to be shaved down so that you can then put veneers in.
Right. Okay.
So you can't put veneers onto a full tooth, which is why they shave it down.
Yeah, I'm with you.
It's like the same. There's like certain rappers have permanent grills.
Yeah.
And it's like that's literally their teeth. So like they have to shave down the teeth in order for them to then be attached in. But it's basically just having false teeth at the age of 15.
Oh God!
If they want, oh,
Don't
man,
fuck
I
with
wanna kick
it. Makes
them
me
in the
feel a bit queasy.
I want to stick my boot right in their fucking teeth.
Ugh.
Oh God, these fucking people.
Yeah, it is angry. It is ridiculous. I don't understand. I mean, like, you probably do some. It makes you look more like a crazy serial killer from X-Files or something.
It looks awful.
Look at all these puncture wounds on the arm.
It reminds me. You know what it reminds me of?
It could be a TikToker.
It reminds me of Jared Leto's character in Fight Club after Edward Norton beats the shit out of him.
Oh, he's a mess.
Oh my God, he's got barely any fucking teeth. He's just gums.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's fucking shit.
Blood gums. Yeah, it's horrendous. It looks horrendous.
I want to destroy something beautiful.
I don't want to see it. It makes me feel a bit ill. Like, if you imagine if someone just popped out in the shop and didn't put their veneers in, you'd be like, "Oh my God!"
This is everything.
Actually, you probably wouldn't be because you're not an arsehole. You'd probably just be like, "Oh, I'll make a mental note of how weird her teeth looked. I won't shame her by going, oh my God."
Do you know, like, as well, like the whole sort of like, ever since TikTok's begun like mainstream and hit like mainstream media and stuff like that, like it's ever since then. There's been like the whole cancellation of it. People like certain countries saying they're not allowed to use it anymore. They're not going to use it. That was a load of bollocks because it's still fucking massive. Like, but also it's just that classic thing of just like, oh my God, look how popular these people are and how beautiful they are. I've got to do that to be that. Yeah. And it's all this just bullshit and it's all just fucking shite and it just creates fucking false plastic people that.
And most of them are getting these teeth done because, as it said earlier, they're cheap things in Turkey procedures. They do most Instagram influencers really, really cheap or for free. That's why they're all going. TikTok
they do it for like.
That's why they're going over and doing
a shout out.
But the thing is, they then end up. Yeah, it's in exchange for promotion. But then, as they said, this needs to be redone every 10 years. So they've got you then. If you're no longer an influencer in 10 years' time, you've got to pay to get them reshaved, or they're going to look fucking weird.
If you're like 18 years old, you've got like 60 years of fucking dental fucking surgery. Stupid. You know what? I shouldn't be angry because they're not my problem. They're gonna look awful, and no one's gonna know who the fuck they are in like a year's time.
They're not your problem. That's true.
Exactly. These things should not concern me.
I'll move on to
the fact that they exist. Slightly annoys me.
You. I hear you. I'm with you. I mean, but it makes content for us.
Fuck, I sound like Hitler.
Another story here. Potentially the last. What time is it? About an hour. We'll see. So, there's no beating around the bush that everyone masturbates. Probably even more so now that everyone's working from home. But I don't think that there's ever a good reason to be doing this naked outside, and especially not in front of a chicken shop in the middle of the day either.
Is this a news article?
However, this has not been the scene recently in Florida.
Greg, is this a news article?
Yeah. Not once.
That is the greatest intro to a news article that I've ever heard.
I mean, news. Like, it's a story that's been floating around and reported by legitimate news places. I'm just reading this version because they're a bit more laid back in how they write it. It makes it more fun. However, this has been the scene recently in Florida, not once, but twice, after 38-year-old Vanessa Lee Jones was picked up for masturbating in front of Popeye's fried chicken in St. Petersburg twice in the same month. Even more bizarrely, police said that there was no sign of drug or alcohol abuse, and there were also no evidence of underlying mental health issues either.
She did this at her own free will.
Just seemed like she wanted to get naked and jerk off over that sweet fried chicken. Now, before I move on with the article, everything they've just described kind of looks different to me when I show you the picture of her in this article. Like, she looks a bit fucked to me.
She looks a little bit fucked.
Like, I won't lie.
She's
but,
look,
you know,
she's not unattractive.
Jones was first arrested on September the 30th after she was spotted rubbing her vagina in front of a small child at 11 a.m. in front of Popeyes.
In the morning.
She was held in prison for her actions until October the 28th. Fuck, she was there for like a month.
No.
She was first arrested September the 30th. She was held in prison for her actions until October the 28th after the uncle of the minor produced video evidence of what she was getting up to the police. But that's not all he did with the footage, though, eh? Oh, I bet that's not all he did with the footage, eh? Yeah, fucking go on. Anyways, seems like Jones didn't learn her lesson and is now being held on the charge of exposure of sexual organs, which could lead to a 15-year jail sentence and a $10,000 fine. In fairness, if she walks around totally naked and masturbating less than a week after getting let out of jail for the same offence and isn't drunk/fucked up mentally ill, then she probably does need something like a long jail sentence to stop her from reoffending.
Fully naked?
Shit.
Jesus.
That's actually one of the stories Ashley sent me, but I was like, mate, that's already on my list. Because that was on my list, I think, the last episode as well. But I like the idea just because remember we used to do chicken nights from the cocks. Sometimes like
not like that though.
Not like that, just getting them, but seeing someone. So I remember Lee telling me a guy he worked with many years ago at Natterjacks. When Lee would I would think I was still working in Summerfield, and Lee would always tell me stories. Oh, when I go out with this guy drinking, we always go to Daddy's Chicken at the end, and he always gets his cock out and he whacks it on the counter, demanding and just saying free chicken, and they always give him free chicken. And he's like, he does it every time. I'm like, what?
Who the fuck is that?
And apparently it always
what
works.
What the fuck?
He used to get his dick out and whack it on the counter saying free chicken. And he would get free chicken. And they'll be like, oh, here you go. And then
man, I've leaned on that counter.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Also, that's a chest height counter.
There was like a raised seating bit to the side. Apparently you should jump on that.
Jesus Christ.
Apparently once or twice he jumped on the actual counter.
Wow. I was just about to say as well, you can never see anything like a woman masturbating in fucking Kingston. You know why? It's because we've got blokes whacking their dick on Dallas Chicken.
Yeah,
man.
You got women masturbating outside chicken shops, man. We've got guys whacking dicks on Dallas Chicken's counter.
I got a guy teabagging the counter in Dallas. Fucking hell. Jeez.
That is good.
Oh, God. I say that as well. I say that, like, why don't we get anyone just, like, pulling out their bits in public? I've done it countless times in Kingston.
That's true, you have.
That's
but,
why,
but
because
like
it's me doing it.
But not like in Eden Kebab or anything.
I'm not, like, wanking off, like, in Kingston.
You're wanking on. I'm not wanking off. I'm just wanking.
My shift has just started.
I'm not wanking off. I'm just wanking. Then I'm off.
Oh man,
wanking off? No, I wank, then I'm off.
I've never really witnessed anything like that, in my life. Although I mean, like, apart from like,
I saw the guy wanking at the bus stop in the street.
You saw that, yeah. I saw like a woman in Bushy Park, like, who thought she was like hidden from everyone, and just saw her like squat down, pull down everything, and just start pissing. I was just like, I'm not looking at that. Like,
yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
Hey, what you doing? Right? Oh, that's all right. Yeah.
No, I meant that's all. I mean, I thought you were going to say she was like started squatting on a fucking dildo or something. Yeah, I'd be like, holy fuck.
I've seen like people shagging
you saw the couple
outdoors.
having sex. Yeah, I've seen a couple having sex outside. Strangely enough, I think one of the places you pointed out where you saw someone having sex, down that road in Tolworth, right?
Oh shit! There was that time as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So was
near the big tree?
Was that down the road from Co-op towards yours?
I think so. Yeah. So, it was the big tree on that corner bit.
And I remember you told me about it. I was like, I know someone else that saw some sex around here. And actually, when I was walking back after my last walk with Lee,
fuck, I forgot about that.
We were walking through fish ponds, and there's like the on the opposite Co-op, there's like that hairdressers, and there's the Porsche garage.
Oh,
and
yeah.
There's that road that goes down the side of it. There's like a Legion down there. And Lee was like, so if you follow it, is the road that goes straight across the road and kind of leads towards where you were talking about. Lee saw a couple having sex against the wall down there once.
Ah.
Not even in the park next to them. Like, just like out on the street against the fucking side of the Legion pub.
Hats off, officially.
Well, yeah, fucking go on.
Go on. If you can get away with it.
If you can get away with it, I have had sex outside before.
So have I.
Yes, haven't we?
Not with each other.
Behind the barrel there, more happened the green bin in M&S car park than I let on.
Don't say that, because it just sounds like you shitted on me.
What do you think released this shit?
Oh, God. Oh.
Yes, it was a dodgy chicken burger from somewhere I've never returned to in Kingston.
And not my cock.
It hit me pretty fucking hard and released Armageddon.
Oh, yeah, that was a good
publicly and shamefully. I reckon before we wrap up, I will mention this story that I already had marked down and then you sent in the group, which was the
can we? I feel
tattooed...
like also there needs to be some clearing up on the previous episode and Maren's story, because didn't she message you?
Oh yeah, no, she got. I love it. I love that because first there was, I think it was her. She commented on the Facebook episode, being like, "I love it when you guys are drunk for episodes."
Oh yeah, boy were we.
Then later on, I got an episode. Later on, I got a message, just all caps. Greg, the way you went from Maren has sent us an agony aunt to I poop when I masturbate makes it sound like I sent that.
I didn't even realise until she pointed it out.
And I replied with, "Good thing we say earlier that you sent us some stuff, but I will confirm that's not the case next time we record." and then I finished off with, "Not as fun now when we're drunk, is it?"
Not as fun. You made it sound so threatening.
But then she was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that it was a guy who had written it." Well, I heard that.
Okay,
bit.
yeah.
I don't even know if I meant to say this. She also said she loves my mouth up. My mouth. Mouse.
Keep this in. Keep all of this in. Greg, you're definitely not supposed to say that. Because it's not what she sent you.
God,
My mouth. She loves my mouth.
Oh, God.
That is up there with, like... In the sense of Greg fuck-ups, that's up there with the Luigi board.
Oh, man.
That's great.
I've got a really bad side at the moment. I don't know what I've done to it, but it really, really, really hurts. And has done for a couple of days. And that laugh did me no favours just then. Oh, man. Imagine if it was that. If I was just like, she also loves my mouth.
I like that just like you're looking at it confident. We're like, I don't know if she wanted me to say this, but you've got a great mouth.
Right. She also loves...
I'm so sorry, Maren. We're not making fun of you.
She also loves my mouse updates.
It got better.
She used to live near the farm that's right near me. Which is in the woods where the mouse is coming from. And she said they had a mouse problem there, and she remembers being stood in the kitchen with a wooden spoon, keeping an eye out for the mouse for like 20 minutes. when he was able to come home.
Held hostage.
And I'm like not far from the same farm,
Just like, what do you want?
Wandering around with a lightsaber or trying to like. What is it?
It's great. That's so funny.
I apologise for the mouth mix-up, everyone. She loves my mouth up. It's gonna set me off again. I can't. I just love the idea of me just so brazenly and straightly, as if like I hadn't made a mistake, just say to you, she also loves my mouth.
Yeah,
anyway,
it was more just that. I don't think she wanted me to say this, but I'm going to.
She really loves my mouth. By the way, Greg, really like your mouth. Great mouth.
Greg, yeah. I'd love that if someone like after a Dice Rollers gig came up and said that to you. Just Greg, great set. Just got to say, the real standout thing was your mouth.
Maren's right, your mouth's great.
It sounds like we're taking the piss, but it's you that's made the fuck up.
No, I've made the fuck up. It was me reading things wrong. It clearly was mouse. Our apology hasn't really worked, has it? It's kind of backfired.
It hasn't resonated at all.
Us setting the record straight, it's actually gone even worse.
Than
it was before. To clarify,
I think she'll like this.
Maren loved my mouse updates.
It's hard to say.
She doesn't love my mouth. That was my fault.
Not the mouth.
That was me.
Anyway, Bill Clinton.
Right. Okay. So
I feel like we should meet up with Marin with the Zoom mic so she can plead her innocence to all of this.
Yeah. If you want that to happen, we can make that happen.
Yeah. That was
and when I say you, that was aimed at Marin, not you, Joe.
Well, I think that wraps everything up here. This was an incredibly... I can't believe how awkward this has got.
It's not awkward. It just completely what was a pretty tame, nice, smooth running episode is just completely derailed out of nowhere. Just at the point of being like, we need to clear something up and apologise about something, and now it's just completely escalated.
Greg would like to apologise for his gorgeous mouth.
The amount of times I'm out and about and some guy in a bloody flat beret looks at me and starts going, "Wait a minute," and starts putting his hands over my face and chin just to look at my mouth.
Just like that.
Oh my god!
Just start pulling on your lip.
Do you model lip balm?
Could you show me a series of emotions using your mouth?
Oh my god, you got such a good mouth.
He could be the best mouth model in the world.
I love your mouth updates. Mouth updates going to sound like slang for Geezedropping. Yeah. Welcome back to Mouth Updates.
Dun, 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 dun.
That reminds me, Big Mouth season 4's on Netflix now. I saw it this morning. I didn't watch it, but I saw it.
Oh, is it on there now, is it?
Yeah, I saw it go on there earlier, yeah.
I hear they're going to be challenging the very difficult, not difficult in general, but difficult to portray it in light. They're going into sort of gender roles.
And why is everyone so annoyed by it? I saw so many people kicking off on Facebook about it.
Because everyone's, when they say oh my god, everyone's so offended by everything. Now people are just offended by them doing things.
Everyone's that's that show done. They're going to be woke, and it's like, well, they're not. They've been broaching these subjects for the last 3 series already.
They've done it since the beginning.
They
showed they've drawn the dicks of 12-year-olds in a TV show. You didn't get pissed off about that.
Yeah, and kids and her masturbating over Nathan Fillion, weird. So,
there's for fuck's sake, there's a talking vagina.
There is a talking vagina, and he fucks pillows. Come on. Anyway. I'm going to move on and wrap up this with this, not even really a big story, but just something that I had on the list, and then Joe mentioned the other day, so I thought it was worth bringing up. Back in 2007, 18-year-old Leicester girl Adele got paw prints tattooed on her tits in homage to the beloved family dog, Newfoundland Max. Had just turned 8, which is the average life expectancy of his breed, when Adele wanted a permanent reminder of Max in preparation for the day he'd be gone. So she went ahead and spent just over £100 on 2 giant paws tattooed on her breasts, each 8 inches wide and 3 inches tall.
They're so fucking big.
There are pictures. Obviously, you've seen the pictures. I will put this on the Facebook page of our member. But if not, at the time, if I forget,
big.
At the time of listening to this, just Google paw tits. I'm sure you'll find.
I'm gonna do that now and see what comes up.
But paw is in dog paw, not paw.
Not paw as in economical.
Yeah.
Paw tits. I changed my mind. I'm going to Google paw tits.
She was initially quite pleased with the result. I went to university in Portsmouth where everyone noticed my tattoos, and I loved it. I was in the buzz of freshers always getting my boobs out and showing my tattoos off. I guess it became my thing. Although, a year on, she started to think that maybe the giant paw prints tattooed above your boobs isn't such a good idea. I started getting negative comments and being called names like paw tits. They were the first thing anyone noticed.
It's not original, is it?
Everything became about my boobs and tattoos, and not about me. Even if they were slightly on show and someone noticed, I'd shudder and want the ground to swallow me up. Now the 28-year-old charity worker keeps her tats permanently covered nowadays. I hated my boobs and what I'd done to myself. I started wearing high-neck tops even in summer. I'd be sweating just to cover them up. She says her love life, unfortunately, has also suffered. I'm sure that's why I haven't had many lasting relationships, last more than 10 months and years. Blokes get the wrong idea about me. They think I'm easy, which I'm not at all.
They're just like, what part made you think she was easy? Well, she's got giant paws in her tits.
Well, she's got big paws in her tits. You just grab them, don't you?
The bigger the paws?
You just grab them, don't you?
Bigger the paws, bigger the whores. It's bad though, man. It takes up. It takes up like her entire cleavage.
Oh yeah, it's huge, man. Like it's a whole
Yeah, it's
chest.
large. It's large. It's large.
It's very large. Yeah, completely. Yeah. It's obviously noticeable in every respect.
I had like chest tattoos, very very common.
Yeah, I like chest tattoos.
Giant paw tattoos on your paw tits.
Ah, and your poor tits. Your tits are so poor.
It's weird, man. It is. It's one of those things that you kind of have to see.
Yeah.
To really understand the level of it. I mean, as I said, when I sent it to you guys in the chat, I sent it in the sense of like saw the question or saw like the article, just like a girl regrets tattoo, and I was thinking like, oh, it can't be that bad. What's the big deal? And then I saw it, and I was like, oh shit.
There's bear. Oh, no. Dog
No,
paws.
it was dog paws. It was dog paw, man.
Dog paw.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do when they come on you?
You know any girls with chest tattoos?
Yeah. Down the cocks, there's plenty of girls with chest.
Oh no, you're right. You're absolutely
Cass
right.
has a chest tattoo, don't she?
Yeah, I was just wondering if you knew any as well.
Well, yes, the same ones as you, I imagine. You're not calling dibs on them, motherfucker.
So no, like any people I wouldn't know.
It always surprised me when you meet someone that you didn't know had a chest tattoo, and then all of a sudden you just obviously they don't bring it up. You don't really see them with a top off, and all of a sudden there's like Jake, we worked down the Cox. Remember was like that. One day I saw him with his shirt unbuttoned, and I was just like, "You got a massive, fucking awesome, colourful tattoo on your chest." He's like, "Yeah,
that is a fucking cracker as well."
Yeah, it is a really nice tattoo.
Oh man, I know, man. I miss Jake, man.
Yeah, man, he was a top fucking guy.
He
still is a top guy. He's not dead.
No, yeah.
He just
quality fella.
Left the Cox. Yeah, nice. I'd say it brings us to the end of that episode.
It's been another good one. I'm not gonna lie.
That was interesting.
You didn't say
I
that
don't know
with
what
a
the
lot of
artwork's going to be. I feel if we go with Monolith or we go with anything else, there still should be some sort of mouse homage, and even there's a little mouse in the corner, maybe in a trap.
I might. I could do a Monolith with a mouse hole in it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe like
and then
a mouse
a trap
poking
set
out
up outside it. There you go. I'll do that.
Yeah. Nice. Us freaking
Quality
out on
stuff.
top of it. Ooh, I was like on it, climbing it up, like ah.
Us just trying to kick it.
yeah, it's trying to break it down. How do we get it down? Maybe we've got blueprints with like Monolith. Like, how do we do it?
Mate, if you put me in front of a Monolith and said, take this down, the first thing I'm doing is pushing it.
Yeah, of course.
The absolute first thing.
It's like one of those inflatable things you punch as a kid, just goes boom.
Yeah.
Fucking breaks your face.
I don't give a shit like where it's come from or why it's even here. I like just like
Cut
no part of my head is saying don't touch that. But yeah, it's been a good one. This was a fun evening. I don't feel as half as trashed as I was last time, but my need for a piss is building. So
right, thank you, Marin. Sorry we
thank you and sorry once again.
Thank you and sorry
for dragging you into Greg's weird mouth fetish.
Yeah, sorry, that was my fault. That was all my bad, and I do apologise. I really do. I've been Greg. Mouth updates Armstrong.
I was going to say it better be something about the mouth. I've been, I don't know, Joe Monolith Jackson, I guess.
Ooh, sounds like a porno.
I stand tall in the desert.
Cheers, listening, guys. Bye.
Bye.
The All Seeing Guys podcast is part of Podnose, the UK's leading independent entertainment podcasting network. For episode archives of the All Seeing Guys and all of the shows on the network, visit us at www.podnose.com. You can also follow us on Twitter via @podnose or send us an email via admin@podnose.com.